Yo, what up? DJ Rocky Montana on the check-in, aka Midwest Montana, man. I'm in the building doing this one-on-one with one entity. Stay in the loop. Man, I'm born and raised Kansas City, Missouri, 49th Street, East Side, Prospect, 49th and Agnes. Born and raised. Man, actually, man, they used to call me J-Rock growing up, and, that was like my name in the hood or whatever. So, man, basically, when I decided my DJ name, I was like, I ain't want DJ J-Rock because it didn't flow right. So I just came up with DJ Rock. And man, I went under the name DJ Rock, like just ROC for like, man, probably about 7, 8 years. And I say it was like 2014, we was on the I Am T-Pain tour. And once we got on the I Am T-Pain tour, man, I just started thinking about my future in DJing, everything like that. And, like, there was a couple females that used to, joke around like Rocky, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So like when I started doing this, I started researching my name, DJ Rock. And when I typed it in Google, like I couldn't find nothing about myself on there, you know what I'm saying? Cause there's so many different DJs in the world with that name, DJ Rock. And I just wanted to come up with something that was more, you know what I'm saying? Like a little bit more exclusive that people didn't know. So, man, I just thought about Rocky, and I was like, man, I gotta put something with this, and, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm a big Scarface fan, so yeah, it was like Rocky Montana. And then when people ask me my name, I'm like Rocky Montana. They like, how you spell it? I'm like, look, it's Rocky like the boxer, Montana like Tony, you know? Yeah. Man, my childhood was popping. You know what I'm saying? Cause it ain't like it was now back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? I kind of sound old saying that, but man, you know what I'm saying? My childhood was popping, cause I mean, you know what I'm saying? All the kids in the neighborhood, we knew each other. You go outside, go down the street, play ball, ride bikes all through the neighborhood and stuff like that. Like, and you know what I'm saying? When you growing up in certain situations, you know what I'm saying, whether it be poverty or whether it be like, you know what I'm saying, just anything, violence, stuff like that, as a kid, you know what I'm saying, you comfortable because, you know what I'm saying, that's what you used to. You didn't, already adapted to your environment. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's kind of to a point where it's like, you wake up or go to sleep and you hear some gunshots, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It ain't scaring you, ain't like, duck, get down, you know what I'm saying? So, man, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, not really having everything, it was like, I had just enough, you know what I'm saying? We made do with what we had, you know what I'm saying? It was just me and my pops. It was me and my pops and stuff. So, yeah, it was good, man. It was good growing up. Man, my pops and my moms, they was married up until I was about 3 years old. They got divorced, and it was one of the situations where my pops had custody of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those few situations. It was crazy because growing up, it was like people was always like, you live with your dad, why you don't live with your mama? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I live with my dad, you know what I'm saying? And I go visit my mama, and my mama paid child support, and people was like, what? And it was unheard of, you know what I'm saying? But that was my dog. It's my ride or die, man. He, you know what I'm saying? He sacrificed a lot for me. He passed about 3 years ago, whatnot, and you know what I'm saying? Man, it's been tough, but man, I know he's still looking down on me. I know he like my guardian angel, keeping me blessed out here and everything like that. But man, I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying, growing up with my pops, and I had a lot of structure, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of young black men, they ain't got a lot of structure growing up with their moms, because it's, sometimes for a woman it's hard to raise a man, so and I definitely appreciate my pops being there for me and raising me, and you know what I'm saying, like I learned a lot of the game. Like I learned a lot of game. Like, you know, so you know, I'm able to move how I move. You know what I'm saying? Because of my, you know, surroundings and how I grew up and how I was raised and everything like that. Man, honestly, man, I just love, man, I love hip hop, man. You know, I love the rap game. I love the culture. Man, I done been so many things growing up. Like, man, shoot, at one point growing up, I was a rapper. At another point growing up, I was, you know what I'm saying, breakdancing and doing dance battles and shit. Like, you know, I was doing all that. You know, at one point I was like, I wanted to, you know, I remember when I watched the movie Brown Sugar growing up, you know, I wanted to be like a magazine editor for like, you know, for a hip hop magazine. You know, that's back when people was reading the Source magazine and stuff like that. I had like little cutouts of the Source taped on my wall and posters, everything like that. Like, so, man, I just wanted to be in the game, man. It wasn't until I was about 16, 17 years old that I realized I wanted to be a DJ, you know. So my uncle, not my biological uncle, but you know, you growing up in the hood, anybody who come around that's your parents' friends, them your uncles and your aunties or whatever like that growing up. So you know, one of my pop's close friends, Uncle Jeff, I used to just stand over him and my Uncle Reese when they used to DJ our block parties. We threw block parties every year. And for 4th of July, and they used to go crazy, man. And I used to just stand behind the DJ booth. I used to hear them talk shit on the mic and everything. It was popping, you know what I'm saying? I was digging that energy, and I saw how they controlled how people moved and everything like that. And I was like, man, this is dope. This is real dope, you know? So, man, I started 16, 17, 18, started looking more into it and started getting into it, and it was, man, just ran with it. Like, I actually started running with it when I went to UMKC. So my freshman year at UMKC, I had noticed that there was no college party culture on campus. Like, you got Greeks at UMKC, but they weren't really, I mean, it ain't no, it's a lit party every weekend type, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it might be like it might be a party here and there. You know, each organization throw one party a semester or something like that. So my boy Big B Ken, Brandon Kendrick, he at that point in time, a year before, I went down to LU for their homecoming. I was a senior, and back then the Qs was running the yard down there in Jeff City. And man, I seen them throwing parties down there. And I spent the night at his crib, which was, it was the Q house, which they call it the dog house. So me and my homeboy Darian, which is B Ken's little brother, my best friend, we spent the night there, man. They must have threw their toga party. It was a homecoming party. Man, I'm talking, these cats walked in with a trash bag, you know what I'm saying? And the trash bag was full of money. And I was like, man, hold up, bro. What y'all got going on here? Cause y'all bringing in trash bags of money. And that's when I realized how much money you can make off of nightlife, entertainment, throwing parties, stuff like that, man. So, man, went to UMKC and started throwing parties under College Boys Entertainment. That was the name, me and like 2-3 other of my friends. And we started making a little bit of money. It was cool. After a while, my friends, they didn't want to do it no more. So, you know, everybody, you know, run their phase. You know what I'm saying? People, you know, gonna go their separate ways. But me, I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm still with it. I'm doing this. So I started doing it, building my brand even bigger. And sounds a little conceited because my name was DJ Rock at the time, but I had Rock Entertainment. And man, I started doing parties, and it wasn't just exclusive to college kids at UMKC. It was for, if you didn't go to college and you 18, you living regular life in Kansas City, you know what I'm saying? You might have just start working a job or just dived off into real life, it's like it's something for everybody. It ain't just college parties, it's everybody that's my age. And man, I was bringing the city, I was going crazy, bro. It was the time to be alive. First DJ set, July 4th, 2004. So in 2 years, we'll be going on officially 20 years of DJing. You know, July 4th, 2004, my Uncle Jeff that I was telling you about, he got married, and he just so happened to be taking his honeymoon that weekend. He said, hey, I'm about to leave you with the equipment. Here's a book of CDs. You got your pop CDs. I know you got some CDs. You've been watching me. Hey, you know what to do. I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. I just been back here like chilling. Like I've been watching, but I'm like, all right, I gotta hold it down. It's the block party. So, man, that was my first gig, the block party, man. And I learned a lot about DJing just doing that first gig, because I got set up early in the morning. I was excited. I was like, man, I'm in charge of the block this year. Like I'm 16 years old. Yeah, I'm the big dog. You know what I'm saying? On the block now. So as soon as I got set up, man, I think I put like some Tupac or something like that on. You know what I'm saying? And my next door neighbor, she was an early bird, so all her family always got there. And she's like my godmother. I still talk to her till this day. I don't even live on the block no more. I talk to her till this day. Still connected with her. She still stay there on the block, everything. And man, I turned on some Tupac and I was jamming. Next thing you know, I hear all these old folks next door. They're like, hey, turn that shit down. They turn on some blues or some jazz or something. And I'm like, damn. It's like, it's too early for all that hip hop shit. I'm like, I learned something right there. I learned that, you know what I'm saying, it ain't just about me or what I want to pop in or what I want to hear. It's about pleasing the crowd that you got in front of you. So I go through the CD book and I start playing, you know what I'm saying, getting stuff like jazz, funk music, stuff that I don't even know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Half of these songs I ain't even never heard, but I'm playing them. And all I hear is, ow! You know what I'm saying? Like, they kicking it, they hands is up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I got the old folks rocking. I know how to get the young people rocking. How do I get them rocking? So just that one gig, man, it helped me learn a lot from the day all the way into the night, man. I DJ'd, you know, that's probably the first and only time I'm a DJ for like 10 hours. Like, I DJ from like 9 in the morning to almost 9 at night, bro.
That's like an EDM set.
Oh man, it was crazy. I don't know how it lasted, man. I played a lot of stuff twice, you know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't know what to play, but man, it was a time, man. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? It was a good experience. And from there, man, just, you know, start really diving into it more and more. Like I said, once I got into college, that's when I really dived into it, because I wasn't about to pay nobody to DJ our college parties. I got this. Yeah, exactly. Man, I grew up to a lot of gangster hip hop. You know, a lot of player shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, my pops was a player. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so I grew up on all that Too Short, E40, Pac, you know what I'm saying? A lot of West Coast stuff, a lot of Bay Area stuff, everything like that. Snoop, you know, Master P, No Limit, all that. I mean, I grew up listening to all that. Like, if I was in the car with him, it was all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my pops, he was a cool pops, man. He stayed hip on what was new, like, all the time. Like, he wasn't no lame pops, you know what I'm saying? When something tight came out, like, he was bumping it. When that Life Jennings album came out, when Life Jennings got out of jail, he had that joint on repeat, you know what I'm saying? And I was I was bumping that. So it's like now I've retained so much knowledge from growing up in the 90s from music because, you know, I used to always be outside. He had a boom box on the porch. Or, you know what I'm saying, we'll ride around. He got the speaker system in his Cougar and his old school Lincoln and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And man, I just retained so much knowledge from that, man. He that's why I have like a vast knowledge of like a lot of 90s type shit, early 2000s type shit, because he stayed up to date with music. If it was new and popping, he was playing it. That's tough, man. I had to say, man, the 90s is undefeated, bro. Like, when it comes to the culture, hip hop, R&B, everything like that, that urban culture, like, it's like 90s R&B is undefeated. Like, 90s hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think of how many transitions music went through from the early 90s to the late 90s. Because even in the late 90s, we still had Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? They was taking over for the 9-9 in the 2000. People forget about the 9-9 part and they only remember the 2000. So, you know what I'm saying? We had so many people from the early 90s. We had influential bands like, you know what I'm saying, NWA and everything like that. They was still relevant, you know what I'm saying? They were still relevant in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? You got Death Row Records in the 90s. You got Pac, you know, you got Snoop, you got Dre, you got 40, you got Too Short, you got all these folks in the 90s. You got Warren G, you know what I'm saying? It's so many, you know what I'm saying, people that you got from the 90s. And then even when you take it south, that's when you start to see No Limit, you know what I'm saying, come up. You start to see Master P coming up, you know what I'm saying? Master P did his run on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, got game from the West and took it back south. So it's like, man, it was just so much stuff went on in the 90s, and the culture was different, man. Nowadays, man, it's like a popcorn culture, man. I like to call it popcorn because it's like you just stick something in the microwave for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and boom, this is what you got. You know, back then, they took their time with stuff, man. You had so many different outlets. I looked forward to watching 106 in Park, you know what I'm saying? I look forward to watching MTV Jams, you know what I'm saying? Everything like that, you know what I'm saying? And we don't got that no more. We don't got no Rap City, The Basement. We don't got none of that stuff no more, man. So, yeah, man, it's like 90s, I go a little bit into the early 2000s, but 90s is undefeated, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's back when it was cool to hang posters on your wall still. Man, really, man, just being better, man. You know, one thing your parents probably told you growing up, or that we say as parents nowadays for any of us out there that are parents, is like, we want our kids to grow up to be better than us. And like, it's like, how big can I get? How can I be better than my dad or my mom? You know what I'm saying? And not better in the sense of just financially. How can I not make some of the mistakes that they made? How can I, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how can I learn from what this culture was about, and how can I move forward and be a leader for the new school, for the new age? And then how can I pass that game down for the next people to be, you know what I'm saying, next generation to be better than me, man. So it's just about, you know what I'm saying, like, really like the evolution of the culture, and not just the culture, but as being a black man, everything, like just being better, doing better. Like, I'm going to college, you know what I'm saying? I'm an educated young black man. On the other hand, I grew up in the hood. I got in trouble. I went to jail. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. So it's like, you know, everything motivates me. My kids motivate me. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like a lot of my people that raised me, my grandparents, my dad, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are gone you know what I'm saying, in my family. So I don't have that support system. And with me being a full-time entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, never knowing how much money I'm gonna make today, the next day or the next day, it's like I gotta go hard because I ain't got nothing to fall back on. I ain't got nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't booked DJing, then my bills don't get paid. I ain't got no roof on my head, nothing like that. So I gotta go hard for my brand. I gotta go, you know what I'm saying, hard for my family. I gotta go hard for myself. Like, you know, it's just, you know, it's a lot of shit that inspires me, you know.
He said waking up inspired.
Yeah, just waking up in the morning, man. Just being here to do it another day inspires me, bro. You know. Oh man, can't see artists that like I'll play if I was spinning like just anywhere. Um, that's tough, cause I got some homies that I won't even name. You know what I'm saying? And it's not cause they not good. It's just cause some people in Kansas City make music for Kansas City, and some people in Kansas City make music for everybody. You know, of course, gotta give a shout out to D-Walk. You know, he's definitely a big influence in the culture of Kansas City. He definitely got, you know, records that you could play. My record with him, Clappers, it was actually the remake of Clappers. You know, of course, I spin that everywhere. A couple other artists, definitely Southside Dame. Southside Dame's real dope. Man, I remember when I first met him, he got the record Two Girlfriends, and man, I was actually working that record. Like, so as a DJ, when we say we working that record, that means like we're emailing it out to other DJs, we're emailing out to, you know, people in the industry that we may know to get this record a little bit of traction, to get it noticed, to get a little bit of notoriety. Dang, man, who's some other artists? Kai Colors. Definitely another artist that I would play out of town. Kale 246, I definitely play him out of town, man. Man, it's a lot of artists, bro. It's a long list of artists. We got some talent in KC, bro. We got some talent in KC, man. I got a whole folder of people that I would play. MB58, Marley Young, Nave. Man, it's a lot. Sully 4Q, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on the environment, you know what I'm saying? And the vibe of the club, the feel, the flow, you know what I'm saying, of the club, everything like that, you know, so. Correct. Well, it's not necessarily, it's not, okay, so Clappers isn't a remix at all. It's Clappers. But, you know what I'm saying? What happened with that situation was D-Walk dropped Clappers in 2017. I want to say 2017. Or may have been 2018. I don't know. One of them years. D-Walk dropped Clappers, and then shortly after he dropped Freak Block Tales. Freak Block Tales went so crazy on another level for the city, it was automatically the new Fat Tone OG Stack a Dollar. And Clappers was getting spins, but I felt like so many DJs focused on Freak Block Tales because of the crowd reaction that the DJs weren't as focused on Clappers as they should have been. And then as I see D-Walk developing as an artist and I see him performing more and more, I put him to the side one day. I said, bro, why don't you perform Clappers? And his response made a lot of sense. He's like, man, I ain't really trying to be no twerk rapper or nothing like that. And I get it. And my rebuttal to him was like, hey, bro, even if you come out as a twerk rapper doesn't mean you have to be labeled as a twerk rapper. YG's first single that he got like put on by was Tooted and Booted. That is not a gangster song, you know what I'm saying? It's a club record. It's a slow club record. Like Tooted and Booted, they don't even sound like no gangster shit. But now when you get YG, you get the real YG, Blood Gang YG, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, he wasn't hearing none of that. So I was like, man, look, let me get the song, let me do something with it. Cause it's such a good song. I don't want it to die. This song has so much potential. And me and him, you know what I'm saying, we rapped about it. I ended up getting the record from him, and I did a reboot of the record. So I kept it how the record was and just added Beat King in there. Keep in mind, the video had never been shot for that song or Freak Block Tales or anything. So I was like, man, we gotta get a video. I gotta put somebody hard on it. Ended up, you know what I'm saying, getting the record, re-registering the record, putting Beat King on there, getting the video shot, and man, it was a crazy moment in time, like, for that video, because it was like the video first week, like, it hit 10K the first week. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's got like too much traction after that, but like the first week it hit 10K because it was, you know what I'm saying, so anticipated. People like, man, this nigga ain't never dropped a video for none of this. Like, why ain't you dropped the video? So yeah, man, it was definitely a good time recreating that record and just doing something with it. Now Clappers is getting radio play in about 26 different cities, and that's just radio play. It's getting club spins in, you know what I'm saying, over 150 clubs, probably about 60, 70 different cities, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of DJs that's out there spinning that. Mostly thankful for my network, thanks to my network of DJs, the coalition I'm in, Core DJs, and some of the other coalitions that, you know what I'm saying, I fuck with a lot of people, bro, you know. It's a throwback scenario, but it's a scenario that, man, and I'm definitely hoping a lot of artists watch this interview because it's something that people don't touch on, man. First off, the Core DJs is one of the largest DJ organizations in the world. We don't just cover the United States, but it's covered in Africa, overseas, Paris, you know, everything like that. So what it is, it's like if you go to college, how you got fraternities, the Core DJs is like a fraternity of DJs. That's what these DJ coalitions are. So you got Core, you got coalition DJs, you got fleet DJs, dirty DJs, go DJs, everything like that. It's a bunch of different coalitions. Core is one of the most recognized coalitions, like I said, in the States and in the world. But man, basically, man, it's just a network. I could reach out to DJs in any city, any state, and ask them for a favor. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I got this record I'm pushing. Can you help me out? Spin this record, get a video for it, send it to me so I can send it to the artist. Boom. Now you see an artist saying, I got radio play in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's just a network, and it's all about what you do with your network. But man, outside of that, record pools and stuff like that. So record pools, how it used to be back in the day, and this is like before I was DJing or even knew about record pools. Record pools would send like either back in the day, like the vinyls, the actual vinyls, they would send those out, or they would send like the special CDs out, and you would be able to get your hands on music before the music even dropped. That's when labels were sending out to test it in certain markets and seeing how premier DJs that were in these record pools, their crowd reaction and stuff like that, they would communicate with the DJs. That was, the DJ was your street team at that point in time for the record labels, you know what I'm saying? Because they would be in these record pools and stuff like that. We still have record pools till this day that a lot of artists that are, I don't want to use the word local because local means that, you know what I'm saying, you just confined to, you know what I'm saying, the one small city that you're in. And I don't believe anybody's local at this point when you have the internet and social media. You know what I'm saying? You can get your music to somebody in Seattle just as quick as you get somebody in KC or Miami. But a lot of underground artists don't know that we have record pools like BPM Supreme franchise record pool, late night record pool. It's a lot of record pools that labels still send music to for the DJs to download. Like, I mean, DJs ain't just on iTunes just paying $1 a song. Bro, I got like 60,000 songs. I'm not paying for all that music, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, they send these records out, and that's where we download our music from. And it's easy for independent artists to, you know, upload their music onto there. You just have to go through the right networks, or you have to network and find somebody who knows about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell artists, like, they be like, can you play my record? Like, why? Why you want me to play your record? Like, let's work your record. Let's build your record in the streets. There's no point in me playing your record and don't nobody know it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it ain't jamming like that. Like, if I throw it on and it's jamming, all right, I give you, you know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, it ain't too many records. It's not even industry records out there. And I'm talking industry records that are brand new. You got 5, 6 writers on the track, 5, 6, 7 producers on the track. You know what I'm saying? And it's presented by DJ Khaled, and it's Drake on the record, and it's Meek on the record. You could build that type of record, and if nobody knows it, it's still no point in me throwing it on in the club right now, because nobody knows it. Let it build in the streets. A lot of artists forgot about guerrilla marketing. They don't know about it. They don't get out in the streets with posters. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to get out in the streets with 5,000-10,000 flyers with their name and their QR code for you to scan and you to find out where you could download their music on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all these platforms. You know what I'm saying? They just want the DJ to play their music in the club. What happened to the artists back in the day that was coming up, tipping the DJ $100 to play their music, and they 20 deep, and everybody in the club got their t-shirt with the song name or with the artist name on it or anything like that? They don't do that type of street promo no more. They want to post a flyer on Instagram. They just want to post a flyer on Instagram and say, here's my music, it's out, go listen to it. And they don't even promote their stuff for more than a week nowadays. It's actually sickening. Like, for real. It's sickening what's happening to hip hop. The internet and social media is killing hip hop. That's tough. Well, first off, what makes Kansas City is because it's Kansas City. And I think by me saying Kansas City is Kansas City, that's what makes the Kansas City sound the Kansas City sound. And I'm high right now, but let me break it down. So Kansas City doesn't have a sound. And that's why Kansas City is Kansas City, because we in the middle of the map. We the Midwest. Like, we not just the Midwest, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we not upstate or anything like that. We ain't talking Detroit or nothing. No, we're in the very smack dab middle of the map. Like, we're as close to the middle of the map as you could get. You know, so with us being Kansas City, we are influenced by all the sounds that everybody in Kansas City has a different sound. You know, Kansas City is made up of so many different types of backgrounds and cultures, man. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really like the perfect spot to be, like, musically. You could be influenced by the East Coast. You could be influenced by the West Coast. You could be influenced by Southern hip hop. You know, that's the thing. We in the middle of the map. So we haven't necessarily came up with one identifiable sound, because we don't talk with slang. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a Southern accent or anything like that. And we don't have a proper West Coast accent. You know what I'm saying? We go to the West Coast, they think we country. You know what I'm saying? We go down south, they think we talk proper. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, we talk the way we talk. You go down south, you know, you going to hear that, hey, shawty, all that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go to the West Coast, you're going to be like, hey, bro, where you at, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, they talk super proper. To me, they talk super proper on the West Coast. I'm like, bro, are you a gangster or a scholar, bro? Like, for real, like, But that's what makes, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no East Coast slang. Nah, we just, like, to me, we just talk regular. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, we are what we are. It's really no identity behind it. You know what I'm saying? We got, we got millionaires here. We got broke people here. We got gangsters here. You know what I'm saying? We got all that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want, we got it here in KC. You know? Ooh, the weather or the dating? What's worse? Me personally, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even into dating for real. So I'm gonna say the weather. You know what I'm saying? Cause like me, I'm gonna keep it up. My pops was a player. I already told you that. My pops was a player. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like I got one person that, you know what I'm saying, I can see myself settling down with it. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that's my son's mother. But outside of that, man, I just keep it P, bro. I ain't dating nobody, man. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Man, I had a chick that was mad at me because I ain't want to buy her no tacos, bro. I'm cheap. I don't do no tricking. I don't do no tricking. I don't care if it's Taco Tuesday and they $1 a taco. I'm not getting it. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm here for? Like, we gonna keep it P. Like, I ain't gonna front with her, you know what I'm saying? But I say, for me, it's the weather because my business and my money is what's important to me, not these hoes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the weather affects my business so much. Sometimes that's the only reason I do want to move away from KC at times because, you know, both of my businesses that I run can be affected like heavily by the weather. Man, it's crazy, man. Me and my partner at the time, best friend at the time, we was coming up with, you know, they keep in mind, man, don't do business with your friends and stuff. But man, me and him at the time, we was looking for different business ventures to get off into and everything like that. And my son's, let's say 5th birthday came around, and man, my partner was working for a bounce house company. So me and his mom, we was like, man, what we gonna do for his birthday, blah, blah, blah. Do we wanna go to Dave & Buster's? Do we wanna do this? Do we wanna do that? I'm like, look, let's just go get a little community center. It ain't gonna cost us nothing but $100. You know what I'm saying? We go get a bounce house. My homie already do that. He gonna hook us up for $100 for that. Throw it in the gym, have a party. So when it came down to it, his birthday came around. We was up there, the community center at the time. I guess we were supposed to tell them that we was doing a bounce house. So I was like, dang. And we supposed to get insurance, paperwork, all that stuff over. I had no clue about any of this. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't let my partner drop off the bounce house. So I was just sitting there talking to him. I'm like, man, I know you gave me a discount. I paid you $100. I was like, how much y'all rent these out for? He's like, man, we rent them out for like, this small one, we rent it out for like $175 a day. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how many y'all got? He's like, well, this one of the smallest ones, but we got big ones, obstacle courses and stuff like that. He's like, but my boss, he got about 20, 25 of them. What? 20, 25 of them. Hey, I pulled out my phone. I said, hold up. What's 200 times? I said, oh, man, I'm in the wrong game. They getting paid for one bounce house. Some of their bigger bounce houses might cover one DJ gig for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got joints that rent out for like anywhere between $500 to $1,000. And I'm like, in one day? And he was like, yeah. He was like, man, shoot, these things rent out every Saturday and Sunday, especially during the summer. From there, I was sold. I started researching. I said, I'm about to do this. Me and some business partners, we bought the first couple ones. Came up with a company called Mo Bounce Inflatables at the time. That ran, it jumped off. It was crazy. It jumped off during COVID. And people was like, man, this is going to hurt y'all for COVID. And I was like, man, I hope not. Next thing you know, ring, 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 ring. Phone ringing off the hook. Going crazy. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? Now I started thinking about it. I'm like, The whole world shut down. Got all these folks that got a lot of money out here, and they not about to not do nothing for their kid's birthday. Oh man, everybody's at home. Everybody's throwing a birthday party. My phone ringing off the hook. We going crazy. We renting, man, look, we done built up, went from 2 to 3 to 10. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, things kind of went south with that business ordeal. You know what I'm saying? Me and my business partners, you know, I don't know what they got going on now, but I recreated my brand, came up with Big Bounce, and man, honestly, man, bounced back like I never left. Started learning different marketing strategies and tactics, and learned that the party rental game is totally different from DJing. When it comes to DJing and the music business and certain stuff like that we're doing, you know, it's more so about marketing and building relationships. Bounce House, I ain't got nobody. You ain't even got to see my face. Like, nobody, like, half of the people that we rent to, they might not even know that I, like, somebody with dreads on. Like, come on now. You see this little black dude from the hood, you know what I'm saying, still keep it kind of hood, you know what I'm saying? But I know how to run a business properly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I work for enough companies, and I went, like I said, I went to UMKC, so I went to the Block School of Business for business management. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to, you know what I'm saying, work a business and everything. And man, I started learning about Google SEOs and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying, building my company off that, because it's crazy not to make it a black and white thing, but I'll tell you one thing that I learned. White folks, especially ones with money, they gonna get on Google and they gonna type in Bounce House Rentals in Kansas City. Black folks, they gonna get on Facebook like, hey, who got the bounce houses? And everybody gonna tag you under there. But most of my business is with the upper class. Like most of my business, I'm dealing with millionaires in Overland Park and Lenexa and Shawnee Mission. Those are the people spending $200, $300, $400, $500 a day. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just not even for birthday parties, just to have a party. You know what I'm saying? And that's for one day. So I'm doing pretty good in that business now, man. It's a lucrative business. I ain't rebuilt the brand. Big Bounce KC is it. You know, bigbouncekc.com. And, you know. Yeah, oh yeah. I get man, my network is totally different. I'm reaching people that I would never reached as DJ Rocky Montana. You know, building a lot of networks. I mean, I got a whole list of churches that I work with, school districts that I work with, that, you know what I'm saying, like I'm working with them consistently. They calling me every year, you know, doing business. Yeah, bring it on. We need all that. Man, a year from now, man, getting bigger, getting better. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes everybody don't see the growth, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, over the past 3-4 years, like I said, I've been DJing a long time, but for the past 3-4-5 years, I've been having my way. I ain't gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, it might not be growth that you might actually be able to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done a lot. So, you know, I never try to really toot my own horn, but I've done so much. It's like, man, in this game, it's like, you know, I'm hoping that I could be on the next level in the music industry, but I know what the music industry is about. I've learned so much about the music industry. So I kind of been dodging, trying to get out there as a, you know what I'm saying? Like, just as a big DJ, because it's a lot that come with that. It's a lot that, yeah, man, traveling on the road and stuff like that, man, I've been there, and it's a lot that comes with that. A lot of people can't handle that. That's why I created the Bounce House business, man. The Bounce House business, party rental company, that's my exit plan. You know, a lot of DJs don't come up with that. A lot of entrepreneurs don't come up with different things that they want to do. But man, a year you gonna see me still grinding, still going after it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you where I'm physically gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be out here still grinding, still working. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully getting more money than I'm getting now, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what year is it right now? 2022. Man, back in 2018, you know what I'm saying? I just broke up with my girl and I was sleeping in the back of my '02 Tahoe. You know what I'm saying? And you know, grinding, didn't know what I was gonna do. And you know what I'm saying? I had a couple gigs. You know, I was living at my baby mama's house. You know what I'm saying? Staying in the basement. I was on a futon. I went in Walmart futons too. It was like you could feel the bars laying on. Back was on fire. But I mean, I went from there, built up. You know what I'm saying? People might not have seen the growth, but it was there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always protect my image on the outside, man. But I went from there, sleeping in the back of a truck, to a 1-bedroom apartment in the projects, to a 3-bedroom little, you know what I'm saying, cool little house, but like a little hood house or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, I just recently moved, got a bigger crib, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, everything updated. You know what I'm saying? So and it's like, you know, hopefully next year I can move into something, you know, something fatter. It might be 2-3 years, but you know, it's gonna be bigger next year. Everything gonna be bigger. It's gonna keep growing. Man, honestly, I don't know nothing about sticks. I don't even know what that is. This is the first time I heard about it, to be honest. But that's because I use Serato, and I ain't never leaving Serato. That's really all it is to it. You know, Serato is the industry standard for DJs. You know, it's other programs out there. You know, you can use Rekordbox, Virtual DJ is a classic. You know, and everything like that. But Serato is the industry standard. Serato to DJing is what Pro Tools is to an engineer. You know, like you could go use, you know, Studio One, or you could go use, you know, I know a lot of people that use Logic and all that, but I mean, at the end of the day, Pro Tools is the industry standard. So it's the same with DJing. Serato, off the rip. I cut it up a little bit, you know. I get busy on the turntables. We do scratching, beat juggling, you know what I'm saying? Do a lot of body tricks. I practice body tricks. Body tricks are, you know, if you ever see a DJ like go behind his back, use his elbow, use his chin, old school stuff, man. But that's because, you know, I came up, I learned a lot from the OGs. You know what I'm saying? DJ Fresh, DJ Rice, you know what I'm saying? And I study the great ones before me. And I think everybody, no matter what lane they in, DJing as artists, whatever, you know what I'm saying, study the people that came before you. Study hip hop, period, you know, if you're gonna be in this game, you know. Yeah, COVID. Man, COVID was crazy, man. Every DJ and their mama was jumping online. I was like, man, I gotta get to it, man. I gotta stay tapped in with the people, man. I can't just not be, you know, doing nothing. Like, shoot, we gonna get these house parties cracking. Man, my process to read the crowd, man, it's just, I look around. You gotta stay tentative. You can't keep your face in the laptop the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take your face out the laptop. You gotta look at the crowd. And it's real specific stuff that I do. Real small, minute stuff that I do to read the crowd. Especially when the crowd is like first getting going. So first thing I look around to see who's lip singing. You know what I'm saying? This might be somebody's song and they lip singing, or somebody's tapping their foot, or somebody's bobbing their head. Once I get those little head bobs, somebody tapping their foot, somebody lip syncing, you know what I'm saying? Anything like that, then I'm like, okay, they feeling it. They feeling that vibe. So now let me build off that vibe. And transitions are everything. You know what I'm saying? Not just the way that you blend two songs together, because two songs could be the same BPM, which means beats per minute, which is like essentially the same tempo. You know what I'm saying? They beat to the same drum or whatever, you know. But just because it's two songs on the same tempo, don't mean you should mix Beyonce with Young Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't want to go with some subtle R&B and just because the beat mix, now you going trap. Nah, it's a process for me. I come out with some vibes, some chillings type stuff, and then I build up. I might go from some R&B into some music that's, you know what I'm saying? I might go from a R&B song that's slow and go into a hip hop song that's slow with the same tempo. So maybe from somebody like a Summer Walker into a Rod Wave. So now that I've successfully transitioned into the hip hop realm, now let me go with some Derez Deshawn. Now let me go with some Drake. Now that I'm going with Drake, I could go with a little bit more up-tempo Drake. Now that I got up-tempo Drake, now I could go with an up-tempo song. Now I could go party, you know, whatever tempo. So it's really like a science to it, man, that I've worked on over the years. It's not just going in, press and play. That's where people get, you know, the job of a DJ like misconstrued. Like, bro, it's way more than press and play. It's about, you know what I'm saying, feeling the vibe, filling out the whole room. And if you can't do that, that's what the difference is between a DJ that makes this much money, and this much money, you know? So, man, nah, I feel like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, say it because it sounds good. Like a lot of artists say, oh yeah, you do need the DJ, blah, blah, blah. But how many people really believe that you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's people out here that believe it, but really, like, you gotta believe that you need the DJ, bro. Like, and we don't, like, especially from the people that needs the most, the club owners, the promoters, you know what I'm saying? They don't care. They want somebody that's gonna play music for $200. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of them want to be cheap. Now there are some people who respect the DJ and who, you know what I'm saying, have a lot of respect for the DJ. Artists that do still believe that, you know what I'm saying, you still have to get with the DJ to get your stuff popping and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't play your record don't mean that I'm not supporting you as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't name drop a couple artists in this interview. Some people gonna watch this interview, not know about these artists. Oh, Rocky said get up on them, so now let me go get up on them. Now you done built more fans. Boom. It's different ways to support, but man, nah, I don't think the DJs sometimes from some people get the respect they deserve, but it's not like how it was back in the day. And I say back in the day because I've done my research. Not that I was alive at this time, but back in the day, because before there was the artist or the MC, it was just the DJ. You know what I'm saying? The DJ was what made the parties. We wasn't even talking rappers at this time, you know, so. Favorite like BPM range? That's tough, man. Man, I love trap music, bro. So I'm gonna stay between like that 65 to 75 slow down BPM type range, that Young Dolph, that, you know, that Yo Gotti, everything like that, Migos, everything like that. Like, I like staying in that range, but man, I love all ranges, man. It depends on my environment. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people label me as just a hip hop DJ, man, but I do everything. I do all types of, you know what I'm saying, different genres. I don't care if it's mainstream, pop, you know what I'm saying? I've done country sets. I've opened, like, for real, like, I'm legit one of the few young black DJs that have DJ'd on the KC Live stage. Like, they just now opening up the KC Live stage to more stuff, but I actually opened up with a band back in the day, not back in the day, but it was like 2015, 2016 probably, and it was this band, a country band called the Scott Perry Band, And my homeboy Wade, who I worked at Guitar Center with, was the bass player. And he was like, man, bro, we opening up for Uncle Kracker, KC Live. It's gonna be like 10,000 people there. We want to mix like some country music with some DJing and scratching and stuff. So we went up there, we killed it, man. It was crazy. The energy was crazy, man. But you know, I'm open to all BPMs, man. My favorite would be in between there for the trap music, man. But anything that gets people moving, man. Anything that gets people vibing. I don't bring them back down. Man, the party don't stop, bro. Like, hey, bro, like, this is the thing. I feel like we are in control. And one thing that club owners have put in promoters' heads and they put in DJs' heads and kind of brainwashed DJs with over the years was, if it's too hype, play some slow music, calm it down, play something a little bit more subtle or whatever like that. No, I'm not killing my energy in the room. That's what you got bouncers for. What they here for? To break up fights. I'm not about to stop what I'm doing because they don't want to do their job. No, I'm about to keep it cracking. And then sometimes, man, keeping that energy as a DJ, perfect example. I was DJing a college party. It was here in KC. And I know when some dudes is about to fight, man. It's like 10 dudes over here, about 10 dudes over here, man. And they in the face off, they arguing. I see a little bit of pushing and shoving, you know what I'm saying? People start cussing and all that. I'm like, oh, it's right next to the DJ booth, like 2-3 feet away. I'm like, man, I'm knocking everybody out if they knock over my laptop. But man, I'm playing music, I'm getting the crowd hyped. And it looked like they was about to fight, so I'm like, man, you know what? I threw on Chief Keef, Finito. Got them even more hype, but it was so crazy that when I threw it on, they all just started getting hype and just started singing the song. They didn't disperse. They not even tripping off each other no more because they more worried about having fun than beefing with this dude. I always tell club promoters and owners, man, the reason why you have so many fights in your club is because the people is bored because the DJ ain't keeping it jumping. I've seen more fights on slow songs than I've seen on hardcore hip hop songs. Like, I'll be quicker to see a fight on some Summer Walker than I will see a fight from me playing Knuck If You Buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no calming it down. We keeping it lit. Man, you know what? It's crazy because it's like, it's kind of like the go-to songs for DJs, which is why I try not to play them in every one of my sets. But I mean, go-to songs that's always gonna keep the party hype, especially if you're in KC. Right now, you gotta say D-Walk, Freak Block Tales. You gotta say Fat Tone, OG Stack a Dollar. You know what I'm saying? And some people say OG Stack a Dollar. You gotta say OG Stack a Dollar 3 because it's 3 different OG Stack a Dollars. You got the original, you got the OG Stack a Dollar 2, and then you got 3. 3 is the one that everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I know you heard you going, that's OG Stack a Dollar 3. First is, I know she's 16, but her booty big as hell. Oh, well. And then 2 is like, oh, shit, here's another hit. OG Stack a Dollar coming through in a 6. So you got to say OG Stack a Dollar 3 because it's 3 different versions of that. But that's going to get it popping. Right now, man, one of my favorite records to play that gets it popping is Vulture Island. You know, Rob 49, that definitely gets it popping. Chief Keef, Finito is always gonna get it popping. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much you get tired of hearing this swag surfing, is always gonna get it popping. Man, it's a lot of joints, you know, down there, anything that Dirk put out right now, you know what I'm saying, is gonna get it popping in the party. Crazy Story Part 2, all that stuff. You know, everything, man. Big Boogie, Pop Out. Big Boogie is definitely gonna get it popping, man. Big Boogie bring the ladies to the dance floor, you know. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go on a limb to say I created Freak Block at all. You know what I'm saying? D-Walk and his camp, they definitely you know what I'm saying, they got the streets on lock, but I would say myself, including a lot of other DJs that was spinning it, but I definitely say I definitely had a lot of influence behind it because I was one of the first DJs spinning it. I remember when I was DJing at the Club 9, you know what I'm saying, when it was open, D-Walk, I played Freak Block Tales, it probably had about 25% of the crowd rocking at that point in time. It's like some people knew it, but I couldn't see the whole room, you know what I'm saying? But then as I started playing it more and more, about a month or 2 months later, you hear everybody in the crowd, they touched me and I'm returning with my, they was going crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely say I had a lot of influence behind the record. Behind, I mean, that and Clappers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I support D-Walk, I spin the shit out of shit. But that's because, you know, that's one of those records that, like I talked about earlier, undeniable kind of hits. You know, I could throw it on. First day I threw on Clappers, it was women shaking ass on the dance floor. First time I threw it on. I remember the day I was at Velvet Freeze and I threw it on, and it was probably like a Tuesday or something, and it wasn't nothing but females, just like 20 females. The night was just opening up, and I threw the record on, and all 20 females, you know, Velvet Freeze small anyway, so, you know what I'm saying, 20 females, they was all in there just twerking, going crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, this the one. Yeah, this the one right here. Man, you just tell by the crowd reaction, you know, how the crowd reacts, you know what I'm saying? Is everybody on their phones or is everybody paying attention to the artist? You know what I'm saying? Are they vibing with them? And this is the thing, you know, so many artists, I tell artists all the time, it's crazy, because I want to kind of touch on that. I tell artists all the time, and some people might be mad, DJs, promoters, whoever, but this is the thing. I tell artists, stop paying for opening slots on shows. Stop, when a big artist comes to town, stop hitting me up asking me, can you open up for this big artist? Because I'm going to tell you, look, it's this price, this is how much I want, or this is how much the promoter want, but I don't recommend it because nobody knows you. And I get it, you're trying to get the publicity, but why would you go spend $500 to $1,000 to open up for an artist in front of a whole bunch of drunk people that's not gonna remember you tomorrow when you could put $500 to $1,000 into your marketing campaign? Like we talked about before, flyers, posters. Why don't you put that money into ordering flyers or posters to put on the cards outside of the club with your QR code? Now you got 5,000 flyers on cars. Now you got posters all in their face. And you can spend $400 on that and then tip the DJ $100 to play your song. And if your song jamming and you play it at the right time, you know what I'm saying? Now you got all your promo and marketing material out there that you could give to the people. That opening has very little effect for people. But you can't just be an artist. In order to capture the people, especially if the people don't know you, you have to be a performer. And one person that I could use for an example that's really good at that is my partner T-Rail from Topeka. T-Rail is a performer. Me and T-Rail been working with each other for years, and it's crazy, man. We went from doing parties, I see him in a party, he see me DJing, and then we went on to doing concerts, Midland, the Arts Bank Theater, Midland, Uptown Theater, all that stuff. Like, he gets up there and he talks to people. He might perform 2 or 3 other R&B artist songs just to get the people in tune to sing along with him, and then perform a couple of his joints. That's when you got them hooked. It's straight out.
Nobody gonna say shit to somebody named Montana anyways.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it's crazy as hell, man. My son's mother, she went to go DJ somewhere. And she got her deposit, she got set up, and she got with the dude, and the dude, like, I guess he had just got out of jail or something like that, and she told me he hurried up and brought her the back end. He's like, oh yeah, they said you They say, you Rocky Montana's baby mama or whatever. He's like, man, I don't know dude or nothing like that. I just don't want no problems. I'm like, I'm not even that type of dude. It's the Montana, bro. It's the yeah. Stay in the loop.